Because think about it, high expectation based off your performance. So they expect you to win. And you have to just state that injuries were stopping me. So when they're saying things about me and stuff, I saw some certain things on the internet. It didn't bother me. It's just the only thing that bothers me is that only if you guys know the real truth about what is happening. But you cannot tell the world what's going on with you. You have to deal with your own problems. But at some point it get annoying. And I was even annoyed by myself, like every time so fourth, then eighth place, and I said, no man. That get to my head, Literally get to my head, me I say fourth. A matter of fact, me I start from my first international days.
Semi-final.
Semi-final, fourth place. 2022 Oregon World Championship, fourth place. 2023, fourth place. And then Paris Olympics, eighth place. I'm like, so all of those things came into my mind and said, Jesus, do you belong in track and field?
Mm.
I just here to feel lanes. So those thoughts that was in my head. But I said, you're just here to feel lanes? I'm saying, no. And I said to myself, I have to change this. And so said, so done.
And what's it like now? Because now, listen, I spend enough time in Jamaica to know that, listen, when I am coming to Jamaica, let's say I'm coming for charms or whatever I'm coming for, by the time I get to Fort Lauderdale or Miami airport, the Jamaican baggage handlers or people working the airport recognize me and they're like, the talk has already started. I know how the fastest humans on the planet are revered in Jamaica. You are now the world's fastest man. If we followed you around for a day and you weren't just at home playing video games, if we followed you around for the day, what does that look like now? I mean, people shouting your name. What is that like and what does that feel like to you? Because you've definitely experienced both sides.
Yeah. Honestly, like everywhere I go, people know me. And
Hmm.
sometimes I think my brother kind of look like I would say, no, it's my brother. When I joke and say it's my brother. But in my community, this is literally a joke, and I don't know why people think this. People look at my brother and thinks that he's the runner. And in my head, I say, okay, that's good for me. At least I can walk in peace and freeness. But when I'm in Kingston, Jamaica, and like if I'm going to the supermarket or anywhere, people is going to recognize me. I want to take picture.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's like everywhere I go, people recognize me and telling me congratulations and stuff.
But you have already said earlier in this interview, you are a natural introvert. So I've seen it too with Julian Alfred. How have you had to adapt your personality? Because I remember being told very early in my career, remember that some people are seeing you and meeting you for the first time. So they don't care if you're having a bad day and they don't care if what you have going on. They want their picture, they want their autograph. How have you adapted your personality to deal with the fame and what it entails being the World 100-meter champion?
It's just like acting.
That's
Okay.
honest.
It's just like acting because sometimes you're going to have a bad day, but you're going to have this young kid wants to take a picture with you. You cannot spoil his day, even though your day is bad. So you have to put on a little show for him, even to smile, fake it.
Yes. Yes.
So for me, I just sometimes it even makes my day to be honest, because like taking picture, at least somebody recognize you and you look into yourself and say, okay, people in Jamaica really know who you are. So even on a bad day, I have to adjust myself and my personality for them.
That's a fabulous answer. That's an absolutely fabulous answer because that is literally what you. If you called me up and asked me that question, I said, Oblique, listen, the picture is a snapshot. Make their day and then keep it pushing. That's a fantastic answer. Um, I always say that. Okay, no. Before I get to that question, you are now the world 100-meter champion. You don't know it yet, or maybe you do because you have knowledgeable people around you. You are going to get everybody's best shot. Kishane, Noah, Benarik, Sembine, everybody. Here's what I want to know. What has to change for you to be world champion in 2027 and Olympic champion in 2028? And what has to stay the same? So, two things. What has to stay the same and what has to change for you?
Strength is one.
That has to change. That has to get that has to improve.
Yeah. I don't think well, I don't like talk about strength to be honest and gym, but I think strength is one of them. And just to be injury free.
What
If I'm
says
injury free, if I'm injury free in a race, I'm not going to lose. I don't think I'm going to lose. I think I'm going to be on the podium, and that's my mindset. And it doesn't matter if I have lost yesterday, if I lose yesterday and the other day before. In my head, I'm going to win. So that's the mentality I have each time I'm performing. So I always said, even my coach said it. Long as I'm injury free, I'm going to be dangerous. And I said, this is my quote. Injury free Oblique Seville is a dangerous Seville.
yeah, no question. So that's the thing. So that's the thing that you want to stay the same, that you stay injury free.
Yes.
Because I could counter that and say, okay, well, Oblique, you haven't been injury free for the last 3 seasons. You were injured last year. You were injured in 2023. So is that something that has to change? What give me something else that you think has to stay the same.
Something else?
Something else. Because somebody in the chat might say, no, he that needs to improve. What have you been doing? What have you been doing for the past 4 seasons that you say, that's the thing that I have to keep doing exactly the same, if not better.
Oh, like, okay, training.
Okay, so you're not Mr. Training
It,
teachers, coaches pet.
no, I go to training like every day, but my training has to change. Like, not the program or anything, but my training in general has to change.
Oh,
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 I just know this. I want to train more than how I'm training right now. That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. You're a fast guy. Okay, let's get to this. I want to take some chat. I want to take some questions from the chat. But while I get some of those ready, let me ask. Let me. I don't want you to think too much about these questions. These questions are kind of rapid fire. I want you to um just give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Right? Favorite actor.
Favorite actor? Killian
Favorite
Murphy.
actor. Eddie
Killian
Murphy.
Murphy.
Good choice.
Killian, not Eddie Murphy. Killian Murphy.
Oh, Killian Murphy. Okay, my
Not
bad.
Eddie Murphy. Yes.
Funniest man alive.
Funniest man alive? Man, let me think about that one. Who is
All
really
right,
funny?
we'll come back to that one. Favorite
Yes.
movie.
Favorite movie? It Can Be Anime?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Naruto.
Ah, favorite female sprinter ever.
Julian Fraser.
Favorite football player ever.
Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Trust me, I know how old you are. I knew it
Yeah,
wasn't the
yeah.
Brazilian one.
You think I'm going to
Favorite
say Pele?
favorite 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 food.
Rice and peas and oxtail.
Big shot there. Favorite place to compete outside of Kingston.
London.
Why London?
That's where
Figures.
the Jamaican crowd is.
Figures. You ready for funniest man alive?
Funniest man alive? Who is the funniest man alive? Okay, maybe I would say Kevin Hart, but not really. That's so. I
What is
use
it with
Kevin Hart.
what is it with your generation and Kevin Hart? Anyway, favorite country other than Jamaica?
Switzerland.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
just the beauty of it.
Not the UK.
Yeah, I love the UK.
I
But
know, man.
I think I love you. I think I love Switzerland.
I do too. Favorite singer slash dancehall artist?
Dancehall artist?
Either one. I don't want to limit you to singer because you know you're young and Jamaican.
Oh, Vice Cartel.
Big shot there.
Yeah, man, Vice Cartel. Which one? Female singer now.
Yeah. How about a female?
Let me see. I think I'll go with people. I think people may roast me for this one.
Mm-mm.
If I say it, Jesus Christ. Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Just because she's lyrical. She's lyrical. That's the whole reason. She's lyrical.
All right, chat. You guys are up. Let me see some. Let me see if I can find some. Let me see if I can find some questions. Um. I have one. I have one, and I'm glad that somebody. My
Yeah.
dad's doing one. That's unique.
Yeah. Even my brother, sometimes I'm at the stadium, he's in the bathroom. When I'm running, he's in the bathroom. So all of them, it's a nerve wracking for them watching.
I mean, I have kids. I don't know that my fear or my nerves would prevent me from watching them, but I think she might be the only person I've heard, the only parent that I've heard that does not watch. My father would literally turn off the TV and say, "Yeah, somebody call me and tell me what happened." But let's pivot to your dad now. You lost your father in 2018, some 7 years ago. I know because I have it's my job to know your story that your father was your number one fan, your biggest supporter, the one who always told you that what you did this year in Tokyo was possible. In a different reality, right? He's alive and he watches his son cross that line. And maybe he's in Tokyo, maybe he's in Jamaica, somewhere else. What would your father's reaction have been? Is he the guy who would have been like crying in the corner? Would he have been screaming out loud, tears in his eyes, or a combination? What would that have looked like?
He's a introvert, so I don't. With him, he will be happy, you know. I will like tell people say, "Yeah, man, I'm my son that," but he's not the type of guy is going to be emotional about that.
Even to see his son become world
Yes,
champion.
yeah, for real.
Is that who you get your introvertness from?
Yeah, I think so. I really think that.
Which one of your parents would take more you think gets more credit for your athletic ability though?
Which are,
That's always a very controversial question.
I think both of them, but
Very
mostly my
diplomatic.
father.
You're gonna do very well with media in this sport. That's a very, very diplomatic answer. So 50-50, not even 51-49, 50-50.
No, they were both athletic.
Lovely. Um,
Yeah.
your dad ran, right? What was your father's best time?
No, he didn't run. He played cricket.
Cricket, right? Okay. Mom ran.
I think so. Back in her days, I think so.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about somebody who I have known longer than you've been alive, your coach, Glenn Mills. I sat next to him on the flight to Oregon. And I don't remember who I had in my picks, but I didn't have Oblique Seville in my picks. I had seen you at Carifta, and I thought you were a good talent. I was a little concerned about your height. For those of you who don't know, he is the shortest sprinter of his generation. He's only 5'6". And I was brainwashed when I was young that my height was a liability. So anyway, back to Coach Mills. Coach Mills and I have been in many different rooms, sat next to each other for countless occasions. If we have said 30 words to each other, it's been plenty. Coach Glenn Mills could not stop talking about this Oblique Seville kid. And I got off the plane thinking, shit, I have to change my damn picks. So tell me first about his role in getting you here, and then as a coach, I want to ask you this specific question about your coach. What does your coach tell you the most? Maybe you could start with that part.
Execution. He always talk about
Even in
execution.
practice, that's the thing you hear the most in practice.
Yeah, execution, and with my technique. That's what he's always doing. it doesn't, and I don't, even in practice, it doesn't matter about the speed. He's just talking about the execution. If I cross that line in just saying, hypothetically saying, a 9.4 seconds, and that technique is off, he's going to point it out to you and forget about the time. That's how he is.
Yeah. Most good coaches are.
Yeah, that's how he is. And for him as a person and to me, it's like it's not really a athlete coach relationship. It's like a father and son relationship I have with him. And throughout my years, he taught me a lot about the sports. He said, "Okay, don't worry, your time will come." And I think he's the one who literally saved me from last year disappointment because trust me, I was like I was about the brinks of giving up because I'm saying to myself, when I went back after the finals, I was crying. I said, "Coach, I did everything. I did everything that I could, but the injury just stopped me."
Yeah.
And throughout that time, of I was struggling. I was like, so much time I've been there, but I get disappointed. When is going to be my time? I have shown to the world that I can be a medal contender. I can be one of the guys that on the medal podium. And I'm saying, when is going to be my time? And he told me about this. He told me about a story with this guy. He never stopped trying until he actually got a medal. And I said, okay, I take that story and I let
Is
it be a
that Kim
part of my.
Collins?
I don't remember who it was.
Okay.
I don't remember who it was. I can't remember. And he tried with me and he helped me through the year. And when I started to literally have some confidence is when is I think it was at um the Grand Slam, the Grand Slam meet. When I'm starting to get I'm performing better and better each time. Then the Racers Grand Prix is when everything started. Even though I started very slow because it was a strategic run. And I said, okay, then this is good. And that's when my confidence started to build. And I have to give him a big shout out for that.
Yeah, shout out to Glenn Mills, who I feel like there's so many other coaches that get mentioned a lot more. Here's what I mean, apart from everything else that Coach Mills has accomplished, here's to me what the top of Coach Mills' resume is for those of you who don't know. He has coached 400-meter world champions. Oblique is the fourth, Kim Collins, Johan Blake, and of course Usain Bolt. And that's before we talk about all the other athletes that owe their success to him. Um, you talked about how devastated you were after Paris last season. Did you you said you felt like giving up? Was that you feeling sorry for yourself, or you really were like, you know what, I have given everything, so what else can I give? How I guess what I'm asking you is how real were those feelings, and how much were you going to actually act on them?
After that run, after the finals, I'm like, this is I have given my all into this. I don't when I look back and when I look into everything, I was like, I don't see what happened because I am on the best form of my life. Everything was perfect, but one thing we had one problem, and no one knew about it because I really got injured after the trials, after the national trials.
Last year.
Yes, I got injured, but I literally bounced back from that injury. But I was hoping that it can hold up through the rounds. And I was like, okay, when I run that semifinal, when I run that semifinal with no lies, I went around as a coach. I only ran 60 meters of that race. Everything else, I shut it down. I shut it down. And up to this day, I said I have this discussion with him. I said, Coach, last year I was faster than this year. The only difference is at that I just get stronger. My muscles are stronger, so it can keep up. But I said to him, but he doesn't believe me. But the way I felt that year, I was like, what else is there for me to give in this sports? Because I have given it my all throughout the season. So when I went back home, I was like, mm-mm. I feel so sorry for myself, honestly. I felt sorry for myself because I said, there's no more for me to do. There's nothing more for me to do to actually be on this podium. And we have countless of and he talked to me like every Sunday I've seen him and have conversation and trust me, he really, really helps me.
You know who else wanted to quit last year? Julian Alfred.
Wow.
Yes. After she won World Indoors, the pressure sets in. She told it to me on an Instagram live with her coach. She wins World Indoors, the pressure sets in. She's like, I can't deal, I want out. And same kind of conversation. Um, excuse me. Last year, no, let's go all the way back to 2022. Because you mentioned just now that you had ran a pretty spectacular semifinal. I thought that your semifinal in Oregon is one of the best semifinals I'd ever seen. And just like Paris, I was like, how can somebody who looks that good in the semifinal not be able to produce in the final? So my question to you is this. At what point did somebody come and say, Oblique, it is not a physical thing with you, it's in here?
Well, people have always say, and